Cooper. Cooper with a great chance. Cooper must make it 4. He does.
The Full-Time Review Show is brought to you and supported by Saltire Energy, the global market leader in specialist drilling equipment rental. And by Craig International, who I would like to take this opportunity to thank Steve McCarty and Jill McDonald, who, like Saltire, have renewed their annual sponsorship with ABTV. With their support, the channel will only get bigger. The future of procurement is very much in their safe hands. After Aberdeen's 2-0 victory yesterday, the Dons are now 18 games unbeaten from the tail end of last season up until yesterday. Jimmy Tillin continues his perfect start to the season. It's 8 from 8 overall and 3 straight Premiership wins, which means, in terms of points, we are still level pegging with Celtic. They have a superior goal difference, but it's basically 3 from 3. Hi everybody, how you doing? A very warm welcome to Ali Beg EBTV this Monday night. Once again, we continue to have technical issues in the studio. I've got no idea what's going on. The cameras don't work, the lights don't work, the whole shooting match has gone completely down. So here we are off the integrated webcam on my laptop, and a wee gift that came from YouTube the other day, which is basically an luminous red light. It's sitting there, I'll show it to you later. They basically gifted it to me for the channel performing really, really well at the moment. So I'm using that to improvise as a light. So if I look a bit red, it's not because I've been sitting out in the sun a wee bit, it's because this thing is bright red. How y'all doing? By golly, another very decent performance, I thought, yesterday. Comfortable as I've ever seen us against Kilmarnock in the recent past. Okay, take into consideration they went down to 10 men. Take into consideration they had a tricky European tie on Thursday. Doesn't matter a jot. It's exactly what we had to do. And I thought we did it really, really well. There's so much to discuss tonight. Come on and tell us what you think about yesterday's performance. Next up for us is Ross County. If you don't already know, the ticket allocation has now completely sold out for the game next Saturday. Don't forget, it's a little bit of a later kickoff, and it's live on Premier Sports as well. So yeah, just absolutely brilliant news once again. While we're at it, talking about the fans, I thought Saturday's atmosphere once again was absolutely superb. The Red Shed looked just magical. The pictures that I saw on Red TV and the subsequent photographs and videos that have gone online, honestly, it just looks absolutely brilliant. And I think the matchday experience is just getting better and better at Pittodrie. I'm actually hoping to catch up with the chairman of this newly formed Aberdeen supporters group this week. And I'll bring you that interview hopefully on the preview show on Friday night. So look out for that. So tonight is an open book. I've got no interviews lined up, nothing like that. I just wanted to keep it totally open so that we could get all your comments on. Let's just quickly remind ourselves of the team news, because the gaffer did make a couple of changes to the side. So Shayden Morris dropped out to the bench, as did Jack Milne. So Topi Keskinen came in for his first start, and Slobodan Rubicic came back in to partner Gavin Malloy in the centre of defence. The skipper and Nielsen, as predicted, played just in front of them. And then it was a slightly change. I must admit, I thought Palaversa would come in, but Papa Gay came in, played in that number 10 role. Jamie played out on the left, Toppy played out on the right, and then Esther played up front on his own. And absolute fair play to Pappy, because he took his goals. I thought the 2 headers were absolutely magnificent. He was nominated as man of the match, and absolutely delighted for the boy. This is what Yimi had to say in his post-match interview. I'm happy with the performance. We had a good first half. We attacked in different ways, but also played close to each other and helped each other when they attacked to win the second ball and deny them transitions. He went on to say they also had a period when they were really good. So it's never easy, but I like the team spirit, how they compete together, how they fight for each other, and there is the extra touch of Pittodrie and the fans giving us energy. I'm happy with how the atmosphere is growing and everybody understands they have their part to play at Aberdeen. Once again, I absolutely love the way that he acknowledges the efforts of the fans. Just while I talk to you, I'm just going to bring in the last couple of bits and pieces here. Love the way that he continues to acknowledge everybody on the bench after we score, which I also think is hugely important. Right, just want to get that in there. Here we go. And there's one last thing just to go in. And there's that. Right, okay, so that's us basically done. So let's give you the match stats. So overall, 58.3% of possession, 12 shots in total, of which only 3 actually found the target. Successful passes overall, 335, and we won 8 corners in the game, which interestingly enough is exactly the same amount of corners that we won in the League Cup game the previous weekend. So that's all your bits and pieces, that's all your housekeeping. So let's get you on, because I'm so intrigued to know what you all think about the performance, about the result, about where we're going, how we're going. Kaiser's singing already. Good man, Kaiser. Al Mitchell has said, hello all you dandies, it's great to be a Don. Keep up this win rate and we have got it in the bag. All of it. Come on, you Reds. Gavin Wilson says, good evening, everybody. 8 in a row, making progress, but still need more when we play the old infirm. I'm still hoping we're looking for wingers. Yeah, we'll touch on that in just a moment. Excuse me. Gary Milne says, I really think we are going to win something this season. I am excited to go to Pittodrie. Haven't felt like this for years. It's exciting. Gordon Keith Ritchie says, good evening all. Good win yesterday. Great to keep the unbeaten run going. Come on, you Reds. The randomness gentleman is here. How are we doing? He said, Pappy is so good with his head. Wasn't a fan his first few games, but he's getting better. He is. He's getting there, isn't he? At times, his touch was awful on Saturday. Oh, dearie me. But at the end of the day, I thought his 2 headers were absolutely magnificent. I was so pleased for the boy. The dancing. Yeah. Pappy, if you're watching, give us a call, mate. I can help. Honestly, I can help. Graham Barron is here. How are we doing, Graham? He says, evening, Ali and fellow dandies. Fantastic result yesterday. Here's hoping a win on Saturday and we will be 5 points clear of the Rangers. And so chuffed for Pappy. Better dance move than Bad Boy Singing. And you see, I'll take umbrage with that. Graham. The musical box is on saying, hey guys. Scott W has said, good evening, Ali. A very convincing win yesterday. Once more, we never looked like dropping points. Early days, but I'm loving life under Yimmy T so far. The musical box says, nice to have a manager not afraid to use the squad and with a vision for how the team should play and the ability to make them actually play that way. Colin Gale says, Graham Shinnie has been so good this season. Nielsen has really worked well with him. Nielsen has been a first-class signing. Could not agree more. He's just given Graham that freedom. Last season, Graham had shackles on. This season, he's as free as a bird, and we're reaping those benefits. Musical box reiterates the point. Shinnie looks like a completely different player from last season. Sorry, I'm just going through your comments here. Scott W said, something I picked up on that Yimmy said when it was mentioned about 8 wins in a row. He very calmly pointed out that now we're looking for 1 in a row, or words to that effect. You see, I like that about him as well, Scott. For him, it's all about, and I know it's the old football cliche, and forgive me for using it, but it is just 1 game at a time, and that's all he's doing. He's just looking forward to the next game. Preparations always begin for the next game, and that's the most important way. Yeah, exactly, Scott. Brilliant attitude to have. Forget the last game. It's done. Move on to the next one, he says. Spot on, mate. Gavin Wilson says, is there any news on McGrath and McKenzie getting a contract extension, or are we waiting until the transfer window shuts? Yeah. Who knows what's happening behind the scenes, Gavin, but I really hope they're working on it. I really do. Suze has wished everyone a good evening. Andy B says, our play and movement down the left in the first half in particular was a joy to watch from the RDS. It was good, wasn't it, down the left? Second half, I thought we just saw kind of tailed off a wee bit. I actually texted my brother at the time and said, we need to get the balls down the left again. We kind of stopped doing that. Simi says, good day at Pataudry yesterday, despite the rain. Not that, Simi. I wish. Ewan Grant says, good evening all. Really positive performance. Sivert Nielsen is an absolute commander in the middle of the park. What a signing. A complete cornerstone of our side. Scott W said about Yimi, he's got an unnerving calm about him and it's starting to rub off on the team. Already I'd say he's the first proper manager we've had since Alex Smith. Ooh. Interesting thought, Scott. Graham Watson, I think you're spot on, mate. He says, Esther Sokler played well with runs and keeping defenders busy, but needs to take the chances he is getting. Yeah, I'll agree with that. It's like what we talked about in the previous show. With players coming in now, and especially with Kevin finds himself on the bench, Kevin Nisbet, that obviously he's going to be under a little bit of pressure. And I actually thought he played okay. I agree with Graham that I thought his work rate off the ball was very, very good. The chance that he had in the second half where he whacked it over the bar, just screaming for him to take a touch. Just take a touch, compose yourself, and then just needed a side foot pass into the back of the net. Just felt he snatched at it. Maybe that's nerves, I don't know. David Gold, Rally Vids is on, saying hi, as is Transmission GGB. Graham Klein says, excellent start to the season, onwards to Dingwall. Mark Leslie says, I told you all Pappy had something to offer this side. Big, physical, offer something nobody else in the squad can offer. Somebody on my official Facebook page made a point that Pappy reminded him of Walker McCall and more latterly Willem van der Ark. And I was like, absolutely spot on. Musical Box says, I didn't think Nisbet looked all that fit, despite him saying he was. Well, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting anything from him when he came on. To be honest with you, I've not looked up the stats, so I don't know if he's had any games for Millwall at all in pre-season. He would have obviously had the pre-season under him, but in terms of match fitness, I think that we will need to be patient with him for that to come. He will obviously get a really good week in training this week, and then let's see what happens for him on Saturday. But the match fitness is the only thing for me that's lacking, and that will come. Matthew Cool says, hi Ali, fit light, doing just fine, thank you. I feel we completely dominated the game and should have scored more. Nielsen is a quality addition, stand free. Kaiser says, top of the league, come Saturday night. Musical Box says, that's light that I've got makes me look sunburnt. I knew it would. Lorraine Baxter's here. Hi Lorraine, how are we doing? Another great 3 points. What a midfield performance from Shinnie and Nielsen. Oh my God. Said, right, red lights, open for business. I don't think I'd make much business, to be fair. Transmission GGB says, that's the boy, now scored 3 headers and I'm happy for him after a lot of stick from some fans after the terrible treatment last season under Robson. So many of you are commenting about how brilliant the red shed is and what a difference it's making to the atmosphere. Turty Tree and Turd says, good evening guys, great thing about Aberdeen at the moment, the team looks organised and I'm very positive about the future. Richard Wilkinson is here. How are we doing, Richard? He says, be interesting to see what the squad looks like when the window closes. Who's coming in, who's heading out. Not long to go now. Bigaloot84, how are we doing? Is this your first time on? Mon Mbappe, start of a redemption arch, a cult hero replacement for the lame duck, as in Duke. Very nice, mate. Nice little play on words. Kenny McDonald says, hi, Ali and fellow dandies. Another win. Nielsen and Shinnie are playing fantastic together. Papi Gay, confidence will be high now. I'm going to the game in Dingwall. Good for you. Come on, you Reds. David Goldralli says, Papa Gay making a claim to be a regular starter. Oswald the Frisky said, I thought that Milne and Malloy looked really well the last time out. I was surprised to see them change. Once again, so many of you are commenting about the Red Shed. Transmission GGB. Oh, where have you gone? Where have you gone? Where have you gone? Sorry. Oh, where have you gone? Gosh, there's so many of you on today. Dearie me. Can't keep up with it all. Here we go. Sorry, mate. The last two home games have been played with a great support behind them, and the team is playing as well as the backing from the fans. George Rutherford says, no Pappy, no party. Simon Roy, how are we doing, Simon? Hi, Ali and fellow dandies. Oh, it's a great feel-good feeling at the moment, isn't it just? Paul Donaldson has said, great performance yesterday. On another day, we could have had it by 3 or 4 if some of our chances had been taken. John Dorwood says, good evening, Ali and fellow dandies. Pleasing to see good football and positivity. There might be a few more tricky games to come, but let's keep the faith in Yumi and the team. John Grant says, isn't it great that we're speaking about a winning team? McGrath and Shinnie were fantastic. Pape really is great in the air. Wish Sokla had scored for his confidence. John Dorwood said, benefit of a settled defence and holding 2, just missing a winger. Fingers crossed before the end of the transfer window. Dave B says, good evening, dandies. Firstly, I have to eat humble pie, as I doubted Pape. Great result, need to keep it going. Hopefully we can push on whilst the likes of Hearts, Hibs and St Mirren are dropping points. Geyser makes a good point. He says, I thought the Killie forward line would have caused us problems yesterday. Ruby and Malloy handled them, nae bother. We never looked in danger, did we? Phil McLean says, Yumi has set new standards. Barry Cole has said, Nielsen is a Ramadani upgrade. He can tackle like Ramadani, but can pass the ball better. Again, more comments about the way Yumi congratulates the whole bench. Oswald the Frisky mentioned it. Gavin Wilson just says, I really like seeing Yumi and all the team players and coaches all celebrate during the game and after. It feels like a real connection between the club and supporters. And he went on to say he includes all the staff and even the injured players. Yep, it's great to see that togetherness, so important. So Mark Howison has said, good evening all. I have heard that we've got 2 more coming in and some more going out also. I'll be very surprised if, I must admit, I felt last week that maybe the business of bringing players in might be over. I expected players to go out, but I think I could be wrong. I think we could see more. Craig Ruff says, loving the good feeling Yumi is spreading throughout the team and coaching staff. What a difference with much the same players as last year. Shinnie was like a different player yesterday. Steve Williamson says, Pittodrie is such a great place to be again. The players are playing with such confidence right now. Ange Jameson says, am I the only one that cringes when Pappy tries to dance? It's not the best. It's really not the best. Says I. Who am I to criticise? If you're asking you about, what will happen with Duke, I got to be honest, who cares what happens to Duke? Really, really couldn't care less. Right, there's a few more comments in there. So, we're at that stage of that show where I have to give you a gentle reminder. So if you're enjoying the show, don't forget to press the old like button. That just helps with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. In terms of subscriptions, we're edging ever closer to 3,800, which is just absolutely brilliant. As I keep saying, that percentage number of people who watch who haven't subscribed is still quite high, and I want to try and bring that down. So if you are watching and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I'll be absolutely delighted if you please just consider it. It won't cost you a single bean. Right, let's get back just to finish off, because we're just coming up to just after 20 minutes. Barry Cole thinks in terms of players going out, it could be Angus MacDonald and Jayden Richardson. I'll go with Jayden Richardson, yes. I'm not so sure about Angus yet. David Gold Rally Vid says Pappy can dance however he wants if he keeps scoring. Absolutely, mate. What did we think of Ante Palaversa when he came on? For me, not enough time to really sort of stamp his authority on the game. But by golly, did he stamp his authority on somebody's ankle? Booking within minutes of coming on. There is again, I'm so excited to see what this boy can offer us. To be able to bring a player like him with such quality onto the field of play from the bench just shows you how strong our squad is at the moment. And as we keep saying, with maybe one or two more additions, it really will be a very, very good squad for this upcoming campaign. I just wish the international break didn't come. It always comes at such a bad time. But hey, we just have to crack on with that, don't we? Susan Casey says, fit like dandies, great to be in a good mood after each game at the moment. Looking forward to Yimmy's Q&A on Wednesday. Yeah, he's doing a Q&A for the Aberdeen members, is that right? I think he's doing it in person. I'm not 100% sure if he is. Nicola Beaton is asking, when the window shuts on Friday, what happens to Duke? So unless somebody comes in for him and makes us an offer, he's contracted to us, he's going absolutely nowhere. He will be contracted to Aberdeen, and it's up to him to be professional. Transmission GGB said, the signings have been excellent, and the way the players that were forced out last season all feel like all new signings, including Graham Shinney. Stuart Cleary says, keep smiling, Ali. You might get some business coming your way with that red light. Somehow I doubt it. But it's an interesting business proposition. Mark Leslie said, the defence has looked really solid so far. Hopefully it can keep them all together for a while. Ruby and Malloy could be great centre-back pairing for the future. Alan Smart makes a very good point. A guide of where we are at the moment. Would Conor Barron get into our team right now? No, he would not. The Lark 70 says, just think we still have Palvara and Clarkson to come back. Goals from all positions in this team. So exciting, isn't it? To get them two back as well. Right, guys. So, just want to quickly finish off. So at the top of the show, you saw Salter, that Salter Energy have been with me now for since day one. They renewed their annual sponsorship with me. My continued thanks to Mike Logie, the company chairman, and to Craig Cameron, who's the managing director out in the Middle East and Africa. Their support has been absolutely phenomenal, as has Craig International, who have been with me now for 12 months. They've also just renewed their sponsorship. So a huge thanks to Steve McCarty and Joe McDonald, co-managing directors, who have really supported me and have really pushed me to do better. What I would like to just say at this point is that we still do have annual sponsorship opportunities, and this is where I am with it. Even though I've got sort of other things going on, and I still have to be very careful with my health. And at the moment, I'm still very much going through this recovery period after being so sick. We are definitely starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. And I've got a couple of sort of business things that I'm working on. I told you about the PR and communications that I'm working on. I'm also working on something here in Austria as well. But I think with one more annual sponsorship deal, I can basically make ABTV almost like a full-time job. And that was always my aim when I started this, 2.5 years ago, that I wanted this eventually to become my full-time job so that I could offer you guys way more content than what I'm currently doing at the moment. So if you are interested in sponsoring the channel, or if you are interested in signing up to the membership scheme, which is also available where you pay a very small monthly fee to ABTV, I'd be absolutely delighted if you'd please consider it. If you want to have a chat so that I can tell you more about the sponsorship that I do, then I'd be absolutely delighted to hear from you. So I hope you don't mind that I finish off the show that way. Guys, have an absolutely brilliant week. Obviously, I'll see you again on Friday night for the preview show ahead of the Ross County game. And isn't it just absolutely bloody brilliant at the moment? And on Saturday night, I forgot to say something to you, which I'm really angry with myself, and I'm not going to forget it tonight. Stand free.